Welcome back, guys, to another video. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I've been kind of busy lately with school, exams, quarantine again. So I've been doing more streams on PS4, Fortnite, and Bedrock Minecraft. But today we're back with another mod review. But before we get into the mod review, I got a few things to say. So the first thing I gotta tell you is I'm super happy with all the growth on the channel. We went from about 45 subs to 51 in about a month. That was really good. I really like that. So I gotta tell you, if you like what you see here and you like what I post, remember to like and subscribe and do all post notifications. Also gotta thank you guys for the huge support on the Simple Planes mod 1.16.3. That is by far, as you can see, the most viewed video on my channel, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you for almost 1,000 views on that video, and I will definitely be doing more mod reviews in the future because they just blow up. All of them. They've all done really well, and I'm really thankful for all y'all guys' support. But now we can get into the actual video. So you might be wondering, what do we have in store for today? Well, today we have the Switchbow mod, which adds over 35 new types of arrows, 2 new weapons, 2 types of quivers to hold those arrows in, and an arrow launcher, which sadly in this version 1.16.4 I couldn't get it to work. I don't know if it was the type of arrows I was using, but I couldn't get it to work, so I won't be showcasing the arrow launcher. However, I will be showcasing some of my favorite arrows in this mod, because as you can see, there's just too many arrows. Like, this building this wall took me over an hour, which is really sad, but it was worth it. It was worth it. And I'm going to show off all the ones that I think are really cool. And right here is a wall with all of the crafting recipes in this mod. I'm going to leave this right here, and if you would like to screenshot this so you can see all the crafting recipes, feel free to pause the video right now and do that. I'd personally recommend it so you don't have to be looking at the official website and have Minecraft open at the same time to get these all done. I will also be linking the web page to download this mod in the description, and this is a 1.16.4 mod. So, the first thing you're gonna need to do is obviously craft the switch bow or the switch crossbow. Now these are pretty cool weapons. They allow you to switch between different arrows that are put in the quivers. The quivers are crafted like this for the small quiver, and this for the large quiver, which we will be using. Inside of these quivers, if you right click on them, as you can see, there is a storage space for arrows. Inside of those bags, you can select which arrow you want to be firing. And this crossbow, you don't have to draw it back. It's going to automatically reload after a few minutes. And the switch bow is pretty much a bow, except it allows you to use the switch quiver. Now, let's go ahead and showcase some of the coolest arrows we'll be using just to show you. As you can see right next to the crosshair, it'll tell you what type of arrow you are firing. And look, we just fired a triple arrow. Now this is basically the multi-shot command. This whole mod is actually older. It was created before they added in the multi-shot command, before they added crossbows even, and these have been added over time. So this, look at it as a way to have a multi-shot on a normal bow. Now I'm just going to go through here and grab what I think are the coolest and craziest arrows in the mod. And to show you just put them in the bag, just like that. Now, I have to mention some of these are extremely laggy. Like I cannot explain to you properly how laggy some of these have been. I mean, they're all right if you have a good computer. I have a laptop, which is unfortunate for me, but I digress. And so how you're going to switch between these is you're going to shift and you can use the scroll wheel, or you can use a dedicated button on your keyboard. I have G and H set to it right now. And yeah, fire arrow, got the thunder arrow, TNT arrow, just to name a few, all of which are also fireable from a bow. And I need to get some test subjects because some of these just do not work unless hit you have to hit an animal for them to work. Now that fire arrow is, in my experience, by far the laggiest arrow. And that burial arrow is by far one of my favorite ones. It just seems like it's an instant kill unless you're firing against a player. Now, you might be wondering, what is this? This pedestal, and what does it do? Well, this pedestal is used after you create this little temple structure to upgrade your arrows, and a certain number of these arrows do have an upgraded variant to them. And what you're going to want to do to upgrade these arrows is you're going to want to come up to this thing. You're going to have to first build this little temple structure and come up to this and right click with the arrow of your choice. You wait for a few seconds and then boom, it looks like it's enchanted. You have the burial arrow AoE, and that will be the same with all the arrows. I have this chest full of these are all the arrow types that are able to be upgraded. And some of these can get pretty crazy, so go ahead and show out the coolest ones. I actually think I forgot to put the burial arrow inside of that. And now we're going to take our large quiver, go ahead and empty it out. Put some ones that are either haven't been tested or are just cool enough to need to be in this video. So, you've seen the thunder arrow. Now here's the thunderstorm arrow. Lets out a massive thunderstorm. However, this can be pretty laggy, but this is by far the laggiest arrow, in my opinion. The firestorm arrow. I'm going to stay a good bit away from it as it will lag out my computer. And it actually is lagging at the computer. Yeah, so we are not going to use the firestorm one anymore. However, we have the fly to the moon arrow. Now, I think you can guess what's going to happen to this cow. Never mind, it's just going to die instantly because it's weak. We're going to have to bring out the donkey. And there he goes. Come down anytime now. There he goes. Now, some of these arrows I have found to be quite strange, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what some of these arrows do. You have the piercing arrow, which obviously pierces, the protector arrow, which is actually a very cool arrow that I forgot to show. We'll show it really quickly. The protector arrow will temporarily, you have to hit something first, and it will spawn a baby iron golem that will go crazy on whatever you shoot at. And eventually it will despawn. This is the knockback arrow. It's basically the baby version of the already shown fly to the moon arrow. We have the bouncy arrow, which looks like this, and obviously it bounces. Play a little game of leapfrog with those. Got to this one. I don't really know what that does. You have the vampire arrow, which if you shoot at the mob and you're in survival mode, you have a chance of gaining some of the health back that you deal damage with. If you deal damage with it, you have a chance to get some of your health back. You have the love arrow, which basically if you shoot at any mob, it'll make it ready to breed. You have the withering arrow, you have the dragon arrow. This is an area of effect arrow, the dragon arrow. If you hit, basically you can shoot the ground and it's going to let off particle effects that will harm whatever walks into its area. The wither arrow obviously deals the wither effect. You have the chorus arrow, which will teleport any mob that is hit. The burial arrow, which needs no introduction. The triple shot arrow, which needs no introduction. You have the arrow of the searcher, which is quite interesting, as I will show you. If you shoot and you miss, it's a tracking arrow. So say you miss, it's going to still hit whatever you were aiming at originally. And then you have the lightning arrow is made like this. It's pretty self-explanatory. The TNT arrow, again, pretty self-explanatory. And you have the ice arrow, which when it hits a mob, hold on, let me get back to it. It's going to put snow on the ground wherever it lands, and also apply a slowness effect, which could be useful in some situations. You have the air arrow, which there is actually a mega version of. I don't know if I have it in the quiver. I will get it in the quiver just to show you the mega version of it. As this one is quite useful if you don't have the time to make levitation potions. It'll make it whatever you hit float. And eventually it'll run out and they will take fall damage. Just like that, it can incapacitate really well. Then you have the teleportation arrow, which is, again, starting to get a little self-explanatory. Shoot, teleport. Shoot, teleport. You have the torch arrow, which places a torch wherever you land. You have the the area of effect version of the love arrow, which does the exact same thing. And this is how you make the love potions to make the love arrows right here. You have this arrow. What is this? The underwater arrow. It does a increased damage underwater. and it can fly through the water just like a normal arrow will fly through the air, which is pretty interesting. You have this, which is the redstone arrow, redstone pulse, kind of self-explanatory. You have the luck arrow, which is basically like shooting a looting 3 arrow out of a bow. Or it's like basically shooting a looting 3 sword out of a bow. Then you have the bone arrow, which sounds so cool until you realize all it does is apply the bone meal effect. It's really it's a real letdown from the name. You have the fire arrow, which has already been shown, causes fires and stuff. Then you have the reinforced arrow with a diamond tip, quite expensive, and all it does is really offer more damage. And then I've already shown what is up here. So how about we test some of these arrows on a good target? Well, here we are. We have located a pillager outpost with plenty of pillagers to be decimated. We're going to start by firing a lightning storm arrow into it, firing a few, make sure no area is left unburnt. I'm going to switch over to the TNT bow. Another good thing about this TNT arrow is it's quite good at, you can actually dig pretty well with it if you have enough of them. I can see, like, if you could get this in the Mutant Beast mod together, and you have the skeleton armor boost, which makes basically any arrow an instant kill, or an instantly fully charged arrow. It's pretty good. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, this mod adds in new enchantments, which are pretty strange. You have pool speed and reduced cooldown, which are for the crossbow and bow respectively, and then the cross, or the scope, is for both. Basically what they do is they decrease the draw time of your weapons for the respective weapons they are paired with. The bow uses pool speed, and the crossbow uses reduced cooldown, which you can see is pretty quick to reload. Now I'm going to put the scope onto the switch crossbow, which basically puts this massive GUI on your screen. I don't really like it. I don't prefer this one. I mean, let's see what this burial arrow does in the water. It does absolutely nothing. And that guy's buried. And this guy's buried. And the upgrade with this is with the area of effect, you don't actually have to hit the mob. You just have to get close to the mobs. Which is pretty interesting. Let's finish off the last guy. Oh, did that guy survive? Survival is not permitted here. And this actually won't do anything because he actually, no, might have killed him. So yeah. That'll be pretty much it for this mod. I thought this mod was really cool. Really fun to play around with and build for. But again, if you like the video, please consider subscribing. You don't have to. It's free. It just helps me out. Makes my day a little bit better. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you use this mod because I had a lot of fun using it myself. And without further ado, that'll be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.